Hello, laddies. I am Douglas. As you probably be made aware, I've been retired on regular revenue service. Today, me and my good friends Thomas and Neil are going to be watching the Victor tanzig because it's actually a quiet day at the museum today. But tomorrow we're getting visitors again, so today's the only day we can get this video done. The museum is open 7 days a week, excluding holidays. Because holidays are meant to for people to be with their families. Whether it's Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, 4th of July, you name it. Anyway, the Victor tanzig episode is from season 3. We are watching Aftermath, which is basically after the Second World War. Changes upon on the Northwestern Railway. Alright, come in. With 2 new engines coming for the next episode. And I am gonna say this. We'll do the follow-up episode to this, the end of the year from us. Or one of our last episodes for our museum tales for the year. Now, enough of me rambling. We're gonna watch this episode. Me, Thomas, and Neil. Then the next episode, the 3 of us will recap this episode. So basically, what's coming next for the museum tales? Well, the rest of the season's gonna air to January, and then in our final episode of December for this year, we'll do an update video of what's coming next. So basically, episode/update video. Anyway, I hope you guys will enjoy this Victor tanzig episode. Aftermath. We are definitely excited to bring this to you. And on a good note, this is the first video that is longer than 15 minutes for the museum's YouTube channel. Oh, and I guess I'll spoil the December episode. You guys probably know that we have visitors usually every year for Christmas to the island. Well, our museum is gonna have a visitor itself. Who? We're not spoiling who. But it certainly won't be Grace. You must that thing. Anyway, let's crack on with this, shall we?
The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land. And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries and branch lines that make up the world-renowned Northwestern Railway. These are the stories of Sodor. It was a long and arduous time following the end of the Second World War. As the full cost of the conflict was tabulated, it became painfully clear much work needed to be done to rebuild. This was no easy task, as millions had died and millions more were left homeless. Many countries had been gutted by the fighting, their industries and economies lying in ruins. These national tragedies were compounded by the infinite number of personal losses. And if you saw my previous collection of stories, you'll know Sodor was not spared such deprivations. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. After all, knowing that the fighting was over and that the threat of annihilation or invasion had ended filled us with a profound sense of relief. Not to mention, a new government had come to power in Britain, one that had promised to introduce sweeping reforms to bring the nation out of hardship and into a brighter future. It is a terrible idea, Toby. How can you say that? One word at a time. Oh, very witty, Gordon. What are you two banging on about? This ill-conceived welfare system the government wants to introduce. I think it sounds like a good idea. If by good idea you mean incentivizing slothfulness, it's providing support to those who need it, like the unemployed, the sick, the war veterans. Surely you can't be against supporting our returning servicemen, Gordon. Of course not. But they did something special to earn such consideration. And as to the unemployed, if they receive payment for doing nothing, what's their motivation to find work? And the sick, those suffering from debilitating illness, should they be left to suffer alone? No, I suppose not. I still think it's going to cause problems. Well, I suppose I better get this train over to Barrow. Before you go, Gordon, I need to ask, have you heard what's over there right now? No? What? Cinders and ashes! It's true! Settle down, Gordon. No need to burst a piston. It's all right, Riff. Toby warned me about this. I still can't believe it. Is it really true what he said about the face? You mean that it's painted on? Yeah. Looks like the Jerry slapped one on the front of all their muffins. That'd explain why they all look the same. Yes, it would. But not why they did it. Maybe they were trying to intimidate us. Didn't work, though. No, indeed. Why is it here? It's going to be the main attraction of a victory tour across the UK. I reckon it should end with them dumping it into the sea. Speaking of which... What? We've been home for 6 months, Gordon, and you haven't said 2 words to him. I avoid conversations with murderers whenever possible. I'm surprised you're so against what he did. You were at Bulbrecht too. So was Edward, and yet he was able to refrain from drowning an entire coach of POWs, even after looking inside that shed. What do you think he saw? He hasn't said anything about it. Whatever it was, I think we're better off not knowing. Oh no, there is no way. I'm out of... What? No. No. No! Ah, 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 ah. Edward, don't do that. You'll give my driver a heart attack. So right. I'm sorry, Keith. You too, Percy. It's all right. What were you dreaming about? Nothing I can talk about. It might help if you did, or it might give you nightmares as well. I won't let that happen to you. I can't tell whether that's selfless or just stupid. As tactful as ever, James. You don't need tact, Edward. You need help. If not from us, then someone. Who? How about Mickey? That's right. He's a professional counselor. It might help if you talk to him. I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? Nothing changes. Trust me, Edward. Talking about trauma does help. Even the tiniest bit. All right. All right. I'll go see Mickey. Brilliant. If you like, I can cover your first train so you can see him nice and early. That'd be great. Thanks, old chap. No worries. Crikey, Edward. No wonder you're having nightmares. They got worse after I heard how many people were killed the day we took Bulbrek. 126. 126 people butchered in a single morning. Do you feel guilty about that? I don't know. I mean, I do wonder if we could have saved those people had we learned of Bulbrek's location sooner, but we didn't. And that's what's so frustrating. If we had found it just a day earlier, one miserable day. Edward, it doesn't help if you focus on what might have happened. Maybe you could have saved the prisoners, or maybe the Nazis would have burned down the camp had your attack not been so sudden. You might not have rescued those 126 people, but you've saved many more from being butchered in that horrible place. And you should be proud of that. Wow, I never thought of it like that. Thank you, Mickey. That's a tremendous weight off my mind. My pleasure, Edward. And I would recommend you talk to the others about it. I'm sure they'd be willing to offer their support. I will, old boy. Thank you very much. Anytime, my friend. Anytime. Ah, good morning, Adam. Morning, Edward. You're rather cheerful. Oh, I just spoke to Mickey. Counseling? Yes. How'd you know? Percy mentioned it when I saw him earlier. A jolly good idea, I said. Have you seen him at all? No, but then I haven't been having nightmares. I wonder why. We experienced the exact same trauma. Are you talking about Bulbrek? Yes. Horrible what happened there. Good thing I decided to do something about it. I wouldn't exactly call it humane. Justice rarely is humane. I certainly wouldn't call it justice. So now you have a problem with it? You said nothing at the time, and I was wrong not saying anything. You were wrong drowning those prisoners. If I was so wrong, Edward, how come you're the one having nightmares and not me? Silence again, You don't feel any remorse for what you did? None. Then perhaps you should be at Nuremberg with all the others. Go to hell, Edward. Talk about an awkward situation. Tell me about it. I don't think they even noticed I was there. It's a bad business, lads. No two ways about it. What's Douglas's opinion on the matter? He was the one who saw what Adam did. The answer depends on the time of the week. One day, he's chastising Adam for stooping to the Nazis' level, and then the next, he's raging that he didn't have the nerve to do it himself. I heard he and Henry have had a couple of run-ins since they got back. Aye, Dougie blames him for Lily's death. Why? From what I understand, it wasn't his fault. I don't know. I've tried to calm him down, but it's hardly made any difference. You're right, Donald. It's a bad business. One that looks to get a lot worse when the refugees arrive. Come now, Ivo. Don't be like that. Those people have suffered horrible hardships. So have we. Half the country got bombed back to the Stone Age. Not to mention industry has started slowing down since war production is no longer a priority. They've even had to implement bread rationing for crying out loud. It's not going to do the nation much good to introduce thousands of extra mouths to feed. That's what the lads are saying over at Brandon. And what are you saying, Donald? That our charity is going to cause problems. I am pleased to say that Donald was wrong for the most part. As I said at the start, millions have been left homeless by the war. A massive reconstruction effort was carried out across Europe, one that did allow for the vast majority of people to return to their homes. However, thousands still chose to emigrate elsewhere in search of greener pastures. Most found their way to the United States, but plenty still came to Britain and Sodor. Day and night, ships docked at the island's ports to drop off refugees. These people were certainly grateful for the hospitality that was offered and were quick to assimilate, and even quicker to find work. introduce our new porter, Radek Solenka. How do you do, Mr. Solenka? Welcome to the Mid-Sodor Railway. Thank you. And please, call me Radek. You can call me Duke. And this is Stanley. Nice to meet you. Solenka, is that Czech by any chance? It is. How'd you know? I served in France during the First World War. I met a lot of men from the Czechoslovak legions. Brave chaps, every one of them. You were in France? So was my father. Really? Where was he stationed? I think those are stories for another day, youngster. Yes, indeed. We've got several deliveries to handle, and the first one will be coming in soon. I'm ready to work. I like the cut of your jib, Radek. Excuse me? Haven't you heard that before? Sorry, I'm still getting used to all these British expressions. And you'll hear plenty of them on this railway, I promise you that. So the lad's finally come home. Where'd you find it? It just showed up outside Mrs. Zora's office this morning. He figured since you lot had it last, you should have it back. Thank you very much for that. I'll tell you what, we nearly rolled off our rails laughing when we heard it had turned up in Africa with your platoon. We were in disbelief too, especially after we heard something happened up at the slave quarry. We were tempted to send it back. There was no need. What happened that day wasn't bad luck. It was just carelessness. Wasn't it, Falcon? Yes, Grandpa. In any case, I'm glad you kept it. You lads needed it more. It might be why most of you came back. It would have been better if we all had. All right, Adam. Your train's empty. Cheers. I'll just shut this lot aside. Wait! Stop! Stop! What? What is it? There's something on the track behind your train. What sort of something? It looks like a pipe. I don't see nothing, but I'll go have a look. Blimey. Well, Morty? Yeah, there's something here. Nice to see the lucky lamp hasn't lost its touch. I'm sorry, lucky lamp? Is that another one of those British expressions you talked about, Duke? No, Radek. This is something else entirely. Sorry, Radek, was it? Thank you for preventing a derailment. I didn't fancy the idea of being trapped in a siding all day. Not a problem, Adam. After word got around of his involvement in preventing a derailment, Radek became quite popular and distinguished himself as one of the hardest workers on the MSR. He made friends with everyone, man and machine. He also shared his experiences during the war, how his family were driven from their farm by the Nazis. And during the Christmas pageant that year, he delivered a heartwarming speech thanking the people of Sodor for providing refuge. And before we knew it, 1946 had come. This was a rather interesting year, as the groundwork began to be laid for some of the aforementioned government reforms. I'll elaborate on the specifics in a future story, but for now, suffice to say, there were a few concerns, especially amongst the coal industry. And I'm sorry to say that the aftermath of a routine inspection began a series of very unfortunate events. You don't look happy, Billy. I'm not. We had a visit from the Coal Commission today. They were assessing the mine for when it becomes nationalized in July. It didn't go well? Yes and no. They were impressed by the volume of coal we put out, but they weren't too thrilled about having a convicted felon acting as the assistant foreman. Who's that? Me. You? I used to be a demolitions expert, but I did something stupid back in 1938 and got sent inside for it. I lost my license too, but your boss was kind enough to pull some strings that got me the job at Marston Heights. Well, you helped me once, so it was only fair. But getting back to the inspection, are you worried you'll get sacked when the mine goes national? It's possible, but there's a bigger problem. If I do get the boot, I might not be the only one. The inspector said there may have to be layoffs if the mine's to be economical after the takeover. As many as 100 of the lads might be put out of work. That's rubbish. How can they expect a mine of your size to operate without a third of its workforce? Buggered if I know. But needless to say, the lads aren't too happy about that. Some of them began joking if the inspectors ever take the train, we should pull an Adam on them. You Brits and your expressions. I don't think I'll ever get used to them. Oh, you don't know about that? Know about what? Good morning, Radek. Morning, Adam. You're looking rather stern this morning. What's the matter? I was told some very disturbing information about you last night. Did you really shove a coach of POWs into the sea? Yes. You admit that? Of course I do. It's no secret. Everyone on the island knows about it. And I don't just mean Sodor. I'm surprised you only just found out. So am I. I'm also disgusted that you don't regret what you did. Why would I? They were Nazi scum. How many people did they torture and kill before I finally gave them their comeuppance? Why are you so put out by what I did? The Germans brutalized Czechoslovakia, didn't they? Yes, they did. But during the final months of the war, as they got desperate for manpower, they began conscripting Czechs to fight in their armies, including my brother. Your brother? No. Yes. He was one of the Nazi scum you drowned at Ostend. What? Oh, God. Radek, I'm so... Don't say a word, Adam. It won't change anything. Blimey, that's rough, mate. It seems the lucky lamp isn't so lucky after all. Luck has nothing to do with it, Reggie. Adam here shouldn't have been so daft as to commit a war crime in the first place. Oh, great. Kick an engine while he's down. That's real nice, Dougie. Don't get all high and mighty with me, Diesel. Hold your wish, Dougie. You're getting all worked up over nothing. You stay out of this, Donny. All right, knock it off. For goodness sake, I can hear you all the way from the quayside. I'm sorry, Mr. Zorro. We're dealing with some issues. Yes, I know. Adam, I heard what happened at Alsborough today. How are you holding up? Not that good, sir. I was so convinced what I did was right. But now, what if Radek's brother wasn't the only conscript in that coach? And what if they weren't combatants? Maybe they were cooks or clerks. Did they deserve to die like that? Did any of them? Adam, I want you to see Mickey first thing in the morning. He's worked wonders on everyone else in your platoon. I'm sure he'll be able to help you too. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Now, changing the topic, the reason I've come over here is to tell you something very important. As is painfully obvious, Colin and Lily's death means we're down 2 engines. The Nor'easters have been graciously helping us out, but it's become apparent we need our own designated shunters. To that end, I've arranged for a pair of new engines to join our crew. You're replacing them, sir? I'm sure you can appreciate why, Douglas. We will need the help. And when the nationalization of the railways takes effect, we have to be at full strength. The engines I've lined up have good records. I want you all to make them feel welcome when they arrive next week. Is that understood? Yes, sir. Good. The middies soon told us about the replacement engines they'd be getting. Their feelings were rather mixed on the matter, as they were worried the newcomers might make us forget their predecessors. Likewise, we Nor'easters were rather ambivalent when we were told we'd finally be getting a new director. But that is a story for another day.
Well, Sir Neil, that was quite interesting. Yes, agreed Thomas. And If didn't hear Douglas, we are going to recap this episode, Aftermath, in the next museum episode. And so Neil, and I'm agreeing with Douglas, we are going to watch the next Victor Tanzig episode from season 3, called Replacements. By the way, this has nothing to do with us being replaced on the Northwestern. No, it doesn't, said Thomas. Agreed, Daddies, said Douglas. Thank you for watching. This was a good episode. But like I said, we will recap this episode in our next machine episode series. Episode of this show. Yes. And if you haven't watched the machine episodes that are up, minus a few missing ones, we apologize. We're probably going to remake those. Hopefully. Right, Neil? Yeah, probably. So, Neil. So if you're wondering, there's a few episodes missing. That's right. They weren't saved to the thing called Google Drive to be re-uploaded on the newer computer. Computers are bulls. Anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.